What's another piece that I know in your work that I'm most intrigued by and enjoy participating with you is the whole concept of the close association of mediation and leadership, right, and of what you see in terms of the close coordination of those two. Tell me about that.
Well, in my more poetic moments, if I ever have them, I start to think about mediation as a form of leadership, as a style of leadership. And there's actually a very interesting book on this by a guy named Jeffrey Luke, who's written a book called Catalytic Leadership. And when you read that, you see the same principles of mediation woven through his talk about how you tackle public problems. And so I think there's a close tie. I think we perform a leadership role, whether it be in the kind of intimacy of a family quarrel, a neighborhood dispute, a political dispute, a judicial, something that's going on in the courts. We are trying to bring leadership, and it's a peculiar kind of leadership because we're trying to bring everybody else's best leadership out. We're not trying to be the heroic leader where we, take that hill, or where here's the solution and I have the big idea for you that's going to break through. It's much more nurturing of other people's best leadership, and this is particularly true in the cases and projects that I and my colleagues work on, where we are working usually at the table with people who are representatives of other bodies. In other words, if we have an environmental NGO and a government agency or a couple of government agencies and a couple of industrial and corporate groups, we have to build something in which they have to do the hard pick and shovel work. So we have to cultivate their leadership because their ideas are going to have to withstand the centrifugal forces that would not want a solution. And there almost always are those.
So if you had to identify the top 2 or 3 characteristics that are most similar between the most effective mediator and the most effective leader, they would be...
Yeah, I'd have to think a little bit more about that. But I suppose, first of all, I think leadership is always, I don't subscribe to there's this, some people are leaders and some people are followers. It's much more about the right moment in which personal capabilities meet circumstance, and there's a leadership moment. And I think that's true in mediation. When I think about, for example, Gandhi and mobilizing people to overthrow the British and get the British Raj out of there, I don't think he was sort of born for that. And I think you could take a destiny approach, but I think there was a kind of a moment when what Gandhi was about meets the circumstances that Gandhi is in, with mobilizing a kind of an unruly Indian population to get the British out. Or if you look at Churchill as a leader, there are moments, we think of him as the great warrior leader, but there are many moments when he does quieter things. There's moments when he's sort of off stage. And so I think it's about those moments when some kind of conflict resolution is possible, and the right people come together at the right moment for whatever set of reasons. And I think all we do is provide a little catalytic spark to some of that.